black man. All I heard was da 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 run.
Oh, so fabulous. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing okay today. So today's video is this clip that went viral of a white mom filming her child and instructing her child what to do in case of stranger danger. I'm just going to go right ahead and play the clip right now.
What do you do if you get lost?
Find a big black guy.
You find a big black guy, and what do you tell him?
And that I lost.
That you're lost?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have to find my home.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I had to block the face of the child, because it's a child, but I wish I could show you guys the face so that you could see the expression on that child's face. It's an innocent little baby, maybe about 5 years or thereabouts, and the look on the child's face when saying that was this look of, when a child is talking about a superhero, the child looks happy, like once she finds that big black guy, she's safe, all her problems are solved. That innocence that little children exude. That was the expression I believe that child had on her face. So for context, the mom made that video and someone commented on the video to know why the mom told the child to go for big black men, and then the mom made this video. So you can see that obviously an incident had happened that triggered the mom into teaching the child this stranger danger tactic, right? And yeah, you can look at that video as something that is cute because, okay, when you're lost, you're going to have this big black guy to save you and you're fine and all of that. It can be taken as a compliment, but I want us to not just get carried away by it. The fact that a palm-colored woman is telling her child that, of all the demographics of people, even people who look like them, she did not pick those ones to tell her child to go to for safety. She picked a black man. What is the reason behind this? It's easy to get flattered and be like, wow, they trust us, the children are going to be safe, but we're definitely going to analyze it deeper. But before we do that, it kind of reminds me of another video that I came across. This one was done by palm-colored people, but adults as well. It was kind of a survey. Let me play that one now.
In a black neighborhood in need of help, or a black person in a white neighborhood in need of help? Would you rather be a white person in a black neighborhood in need of help, or a black person in a white neighborhood in need of help?
So you can see this is kind of like the adult version of that. Every single one of those palm-colored people chose to be a white person in need of help in a black community than being a black person in need of help in a white community. Are you guys seeing the pattern here? Obviously, these palm-colored people know that black people are not a threat to them. They know that black people are more in touch with their humanity. Black people are more likely to give them help when they need it, to keep them safe when they need it, to show them kindness when the need arises. But on the other hand, they would not do the same for black people. That is what that video means. Anyway, before I really go deep into analyzing it, let me play some of the stitches to that first video by that little baby.
You find a
Find the big black guy. I'm the big black guy. I'm a big black guy. So if your child was ever to get lost and didn't know where they were, I guarantee you we find it home. We'll ride all day today and tomorrow to find home. Or I'm taking her to the police station and make sure she find home then. So, little white girl, you are safe if we find you. And for that fact, any other kid that ends up lost. In my time, I've helped a few kids lost or just happen to wander to my house and be like, I don't know where my mama is. I wish I would have recorded it. But hey.
The big black guy.
You find a...
Now this was a very interesting post right here, right? Statistically speaking, she's not wrong for telling her child that. Because 90%, this is statistically speaking, 90% of perpetrators against children are white males. This isn't a race thing. I know you're going to say, hey, you black people do all this and do all... Yes, I give it to you. There's a lot of violence in the black community. You are absolutely right. We ain't snatching up no children like that, though. And we definitely ain't eating people. Shit, we don't even eat other people cooking. So, I'm just saying. Here's what it is.
And a big black guy.
You find a
Sorry, kid, but you're on your own. When it comes to black men finding lost white kids, we go in the opposite direction. We won't be nowhere around that shit. Sorry, but you're on your own.
And that I lost.
Oh, do I need to tell you there's a bunch of white people really upset about that video? Stitching it, duetting it in the comments. Oh, this is racist. Actually, if you want to be real about it, statistically, based on the data, any child would be safer approaching a strange black man than they would a strange white man. So let's look at some numbers. Convictions of possessing images of children. White people, 86%, while black make up only 4%. I'd say white people damn near cornered the market. Now, when you talk about assault of a child, the numbers are a little bit different, but white people still excel. 42% are white, 18% are black, but I feel these numbers might be skewed. For example, Hispanic make up 10% of the abuse. They also make up 10% of the possession of images, so those seem to be pretty close to each other, while these other numbers are way off. Now factor in that black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of a serious crime, including that kind of assault, than white people are. Then think about all of the priests that the Catholic Church hid and protected and moved around. All of the pastors that we've recently found out the Southern Baptists were protecting. Think about all of the well-respected white teachers and coaches and scout leaders over the years where people just didn't believe the children, didn't believe that that good man was capable of that. And it's not hard to imagine that these numbers should probably be closer to those. And as long as we're talking fun facts, let's look at this one. They looked at SA convictions from 2006 to 2017, and you know what they found? There was a 1,330.47% increase in sentences of black individuals and a 8.6 decrease in sentences for white individuals. So white people, far more likely to do it, also more likely to receive a lenient sentence for it. So while I'm real sorry if that first video triggered you, statistically speaking, that mom is right. And maybe you should teach your children to do the same thing.
So let me get this straight. You get lost, go find the big black guy, correct? So if your child vocabulary is that great and that good, why you don't teach your child your address? Won't you teach your child that your name is other than mommy? Won't you teach your child your phone number? Let's try that one out for size. Because last time we checked, family, I don't believe that we volunteered or gave our permission or our consent to tell your children, teach your children to run up on our men, right? Even though I heard the backdrop to this lady's story, that once upon a time something in this nature happened to her and a black man rescued her. That's fine and dandy. And I tilt my hat to that man who helped her. But you can't teach your children to run for us for safe haven because we're too busy watching our own. See, this kind of takes me back to plantation times, you know, when we was mammy and we was running around tending to your children all day long, and then we was nursing your babies with our breasts, so much so that, you know, when we got home at the end of the night to our little shack, we couldn't, you know, tend to our own children because we tired. And 2, our babies went to sleep hungry because we had no more milk to provide. It's not our duty to watch yours because we too busy watching our own. And what's so crazy about it, it's your backyard. It's your backyard. So how's that our problem? Could you explain to us how did that become our problem? Because you teach your children to hate us. We're monkeys, we savages, and everything else. But on the same breath, we rescue Ranger? Oh, let's make it make sense. No, ma'am, you won't be doing that, ma'am. I suggest you teach your child that your name is other than Susie. Teach your child your address and phone number. And you teach your child to scream if somebody was attacking them. Yes, that's what you teach your child. And run to the, you see a police officer, you tell the police officer that you are missing. Because guess what, ma'am? That sounds like a straight up setup. Because if we was even seen, or our men, big black men, were even seen talking to one of your little white children, Depending who sees him, he might don't make it home. So don't teach him that. Please don't do that. And that's a public service. Please don't do that. Teach your child your address and your name and a phone number. Because if his vocabulary is that great that he can repeat and recite back what you just taught him, he can also repeat back your address and your name and phone number. Thank you.
Big black guy.
You find a...
Excuse me, ma'am, but being as though some would consider me a big black guy, I'm sorry. That is very cute, no, but I prefer not to get shot by the police for being a suspect in a kidnapping. Yeah, if at all possible, could you just maybe find a big white guy? There are a lot of those out there as well. You know, maybe find yourself an Ivan Drago or something. You know, I don't want to be murdered because I found your kid. Find a big white guy.
And a big black guy.
You find a big black...
If you look at the comments of that original post, the mother explains why he said that, although she wanted to share because it was so wholesome. That being said, I would like to also share something. I don't know when this was like instilled in me. I don't know if it was as a child. I just know that I have always walked around with the understanding that, like, if I got lost or whatever, that any stereotypically black or brown neighborhood was safer than like a white rural community. I've always known that, you know, technically speaking, groups of white Christians are more dangerous than anyone else other than cops, I guess. Stay safe out there, okay?
Big black guy.
You find a...
She not wrong, because as much as I joke about white people on this app, I'm gonna make sure that baby get home safely and securely, or to, you know, some police. I probably won't do the police officer route because then I won't make it home safely. But I'm gonna make sure you get what you supposed to get. Then I'm gonna run away like I just dropped a firecracker. You gonna get home safely. That's the moral of this here video.
Big black guy.
You find a...
Please watch this video if you can. It's kind of disturbing to me. Yeah, if you find a big black guy, he's gonna record and he's gonna make sure that baby get to where he needs to get to safely to their destination. But it was kind of disturbing to me because, like, why not say find a police officer? There's so many other things that could have been said. It's a compliment, right? To a certain degree, it's a compliment, but not for the right reasons, I don't think. It's because no black man wants to be accused of that, right? Because they know they have to protect themselves. If they come across a child that's lost, then they instantly will feel responsible to get that child to their destination safely, but will also feel obligated to record it as well. I think that's what's disturbing to me. Any decent human being would make sure that baby got to where they need to get to safely. But yeah, I think that's the disturbing part for me. And who look out for the black man? Just a thought.
Find a big black guy.
You find...
I need all the big black guys to come together in unison on this one. If we ever see this little boy lost, it's our obligation to make sure he make it back home safely. It's not up for debate.
You find a big black guy, and what do you tell...
Can we stop making everything about race? Like, for a single second, can we do it for a second? Like, I'm not even sorry. Like, well, I'm sorry for, like, the background, maybe some background noise. I'm over at work right now, so, well, I don't really have any options. Let's be real. Your kid is missing. All right? Like, when that kid gets back in your arms, you're not gonna care what the color of the person's skin is who brought them to you. So, instead of, like, telling your kid to cherry pick the skin color of the person trying to get them home, All right, let's be more objective here, right? Odds are, if you lost your kid, you brought them somewhere in public, right? You're at Walmart, you're at Target, you're at a restaurant. So, better idea, nix, just forget the whole idea of find someone who looks like this, skin color wise. Tell them to go find someone who's working somewhere, right? Ideally a manager, but you know, like, doesn't matter if they're working at like a shoe store, any store. Tell them to go find someone who's working, all right? Because they're going to be there for a couple hours. They're locked in place right then and there, right? Like me, I'm at work at the restaurant today. I'm here for 13 hours. Some kid walked in that door. Where the fuck am I going? I'm going to call the cops and be like, yo, I got a kid here. Come get him home. And like, I'm sure there's going to be some people who are like, oh, well, what if the guy behind the counter who's working, you know, what if they're a predator and they call one of their predator friends? It's like, bro, it's 2023. We got cameras everywhere. Like, in every bar, every Walmart, like in most cities, just on the street, attached to like telephone poles and like street lights. Another thing, like, why are we just assuming like we could just use black people as our like our child tracking devices? Like, who said that? Like, no one signed up for that. You know, just try to find someone with some goodness in their heart to help them. But like, the idea to utilize black people specifically to find your kid when you lost them is some hard bullshit. Like, we really just get your kid home safe, right? If you're gonna sit there and tell them to cherry pick and be racist, even if it's in light heart, like, oh, this is a better type of person. Actually, you know what? That's wrong. That's still fucking racist, no matter which color you're favoring. Just be better. Do better.
Find a big black.
Let me tell you about the time a big black guy helped me when I was lost. I was in Copenhagen and I was about to catch a train to Stockholm. I was waiting on the platform and the announcements came on and they weren't in English. And they had decided that they were going to change the platform that we had to go to. But I didn't realize this. All these people just started leaving the platform. So I asked somebody and they told me we have to go to another platform. So I go to the other platform and I'm waiting and I decided to follow everybody and get on the train that I think is the right train. So I get on the train and I'm sitting there, and after about 15 minutes I realized that I hadn't traveled over a body of water, because to get from Copenhagen to Malmo, which is the next city in Sweden, you have to travel over a large strait. And I'm feeling like we're going too far into the countryside. So I get out my phone and I look at the map and I can see the train is moving deeper into the countryside. So I look over to my left and there's a big big black dude with dreadlocks sitting next to me. And I ask him, I'm like, hey, I show him my phone. I go, I think I'm going the wrong way. I need to go towards Malmo. He's like, yeah, you're going the wrong way, but the train is going to stop. And at the next stop, there's another train that's going back the other direction. But you have to run, because if you don't run, you're not going to catch that train. It doesn't stop for very long. I'm like, okay. He's like, no. Stand by the door right now with your bag, because as soon as those doors open, you're going to have to run over the overpass and catch that train. I'm like, okay. So the doors open. I grab my bag. I start running. I get to the overpass. I'm going up the stairs and I can hear him behind me yelling, you're not running fast enough. And as he's running up towards me from behind, he grabs my suitcase, sprints past me, runs over the overpass. I start running faster with my little bag. He gets to the train door, throws my suitcase into the train door, and I'm running and I don't think I'm going to make it. And I jump into the train right after he throws my suitcase in, just in time for the doors to close. And as the train takes off, he walks away. And I will never forget that day, and I will never forget that man. He helped me so much. So no matter where you are in life, there's always going to be people willing to help you along your journey in life, along your travels around this planet. So yeah, if you're lost, find a big black guy.
Black guy.
You find a...
As if being black men in America isn't hard enough. We now have white mothers telling their white children if they get lost to find a big black man. Listen to what her point was and her reasoning for that. And I can appreciate the fact that y'all are starting to realize that the danger to your children is exponentially greater coming from people that look like you. But you need to understand the danger you're putting a black man's life in by sending your white child his way if they're lost. I know y'all saw the story about the black man that was babysitting the two white kids, and the Karen followed him around and she called the police, and then the police showed up and they needed to verify that he was babysitting the kids and that the kids knew him and they weren't abducted or whatever. Black people can't go to get food without getting shot. Black children can't play with toys in the streets without getting shot. Black people's lives are in danger every day off the strength of simply being black and existing. And so you want to send your white child and place a bigger target on a black man's back because you couldn't watch your own damn kids, so they got lost. Like, the f is wrong with y'all? Watch your own kids. It's not a black man's responsibility to take care of your children and to return them to you. They will. They most definitely will, because our men are better than what you and the media likes to portray them as. They're fucking great. But how dare you? This whole video was just tone deaf. At this point, I don't even give a damn about intent. It's putting this out there straight, willful ignorance that y'all are famous for.
So now that you guys have watched all those stitches, I don't know if you guys observed a difference in the way the sisters replied and the way the brothers replied and the way the white people replied as well. Okay, if you didn't notice, let me point it out. A lot of the black men, a lot of our brothers were flattered, which is understandable because it's a testimony to the character, to the fact that these palm color people know that they can trust their children with them in terms of if something like that ever happens. And a lot of those black men actually attested to the fact that they will do all they can to keep those children safe and get them back to their family, and I think that is commendable. But normally any decent human being should be able to do that. But the deeper question now is, why did they single out the black men? Now, if you watch the way a lot of the sisters replied, the sisters were able to look deeper into it and analyze it deeper, and that is one trend that I see with black women that I applaud, because black women are quick to observe and call out bullshit. You cannot just come and try to gaslight or flatter us and think we're just going to smile and think we're being complimented or being pandered to or whatever. Black women are more likely to look deeper and analyze the situation to be able to tell when there's danger or when there's an ulterior motive. And a lot of those stitches by black women really echoed what I think. The question is, why are they telling their kids to go to black men? Why do they feel like their kids are safer with black men? I mean, look at the irony. People who look like them are more likely to hurt their children than the black men. So statistically, it's safer for the kid to be with the black man, right, in that situation. But is it safer for the black man to be with a white child in public? Statistically, how does that work out for the black man? I think we all know it kind of places a target on them, doesn't it? Walking around in public, a full-grown black man, a big black guy with a white baby. So what do? They start doing detective work to find the parents, or they have to go to the police, and we know how sometimes these police interactions go, or they have to now film everything to be sure, or they have to look for other white people to serve as witnesses just in case anything goes wrong. Like, they want to place the responsibility of getting their kids safe to them in the hands of black men without thinking about the impact it has on the black men. So as much as it can be seen as a compliment that they know that our men have a sense of community, you know, knowing that it takes a village to raise a child, yeah, we understand that that is a compliment and all of that. But in the long run, is it the best thing for our men sending their kids to our men for protection in that kind of situation? You guys just let me know what you think. I hope I'm not over analyzing it. But one last thing that I want to say is, if you palm colored folks know that black people will always be kind to you guys, keep your children safe, offer you help when you need it, be kind to you, even kinder than their own people that look like them. So the big question is, if you all know that black people are so nice and so kind to you guys, why are these palm colored people not doing more and advocating for black people? Why are they not doing more to end racism and all these biases that gets thrown at black people? That is the question. Anyway, you guys just let me know what you think in the comment section. If you're a big black guy, what would you do if a white kid walks up to you when they are lost and all of that? Are you going to take all that responsibility and be a hero for that baby? Are you going to turn them away? What precautions would you take to make sure that you don't get in trouble? And also, the sisters are not left out. If you're a black woman, what would you do in that situation? Let me know what you guys think. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, turn on notifications, that way YouTube will let you guys know whenever I drop a new video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.